We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jakari from Twisted Nightmare Gaming and LNN, the Little Nightmare Network, and I'm back at you with another Genesys format deck profile. So, the first person who will understand the very beginning of this, the majority of this deck, is going to be Twisted himself, Chase Knight, because this was one of the earliest deck profiles we did on the channel. It was called The Concoction. It was a Trickstar deck that didn't actually play Droll. I do have a version of this deck that plays the Droll lot combo with Reincarnation, but we ain't about that over here. We don't want to play the hand traps. The only hand traps in here are Corbane and Honest, intentionally, actually. This deck is roughly between main and extra, like 95-ish points. I'll go through it as we'll tally it up as I'm going through it. 3 Candina, 1 Corbane, 3 Lycoris, 1 Lilybell. That's it for the Trickstar monsters. You're not playing any of the other ones because can't play Link monsters. We're not playing the Link build of this deck. We're playing the degenerate version. Yes, there is a small branded engine in here, which is 2 Aluber, 2 Quim, 2 Cartesia, 12 points. Live stage, light stage, triple Dark Room and Nightmare, degenerate, 3 Super Poly, duh, 2 branded in red, 2 branded opening, and 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods, 3 Reincarnation, 3 Present Card, 2 Disturbance Strategy, 1 branded banishment, 3 transaction rollback. Alright, so the idea behind this is to hit your opponent with the reincarnation burn, the burn off of a combination of light stage, Lycoris, dark room, using reincarnation and rollback multiple times in their draw phase. In their draw / standby phase or early main phase. One of the 3. To a point where it renders their deck pretty much completely useless and may actually burn them out in that opening, right before they even get a really good chance to start their turn. So in the main, you have the 2 Quims, the 2 Cartesias, that's 12. Then the 3 Super Polys, that's 30, so that's 42. The 3 rollbacks, which is 7 apiece. And then I believe the Foolish Burial Goods were also 7. I don't remember for sure. Give me a second. I'll actually be right back with that one, and I'll tell you in just a second. Alright, folks, and I'm back. Sorry about that. I did have to make a quick edit to the deck. Quickly, playing 3 rollbacks actually put you over the points threshold by 2. So, the edit literally is playing 2 rollback. Simply because 1 card in the extra deck actually does cost 33 points. And you play 1 copy of it. But it's the majority, it's the back end third of the points. So, I'll even break it down for you once we get to it. Let's go back into the deck profile. I'm actually on Neuron at this point. So, this is now 100% live. So, everything in the main is exactly the same. It just 2 rollback instead of 3. So that puts you at 62 points. With that third one, it puts you at 69. Unfortunately, not so nice in this situation. It puts you over once you see the last card in the extra deck. So scroll up here, and then you're playing a shit ton of super poly targets. 3 Garua, 3 Mud Dragon, 3 Tax Dragon, which is summonable multiple ways in this deck. Off of the Branded in Red, off of the Branded Banishment, off of the Super Polys, off of the Cartesias. So you have multiple ways of going into that. You can go into the Granguinol also, which floats into the Lulu. It also floats into, and then the Lulu floats back into the Cartesias and the Quims. So now the 33 point card in here is the Guardian Chimera, which is its primary function of being summoned in here is off of Branded in Red. Because realistically, you're either going to add Quim back from the grave or a Luber, and then fuse with that and monsters on your field. Easiest way to summon it. If you want to take out something in the main deck to be able to substitute for another fusion spell, you could actually, it becomes even searchable on the branded side by taking out the live stage. This one. This is just in here to add more, recur resources from the grave. That's literally all it is. Just the initial activation point. You're not doing it for anything but that first one. And that's it. And then you pretty much go back into light stage. It's a one-time usage because it's on activation, add one from the grave. So if somebody's playing Ghost Bell or DD Crow, whatever, cool. They took the bait. Anyways, you switch this out for Despia Theater of the Branded. The actual field spell for Branded. That's another way of doing it. I didn't want to play things like the Predator, not the Predator Planet engine, but Polys actually can't play in here unless I take other stuff out. The other way of playing this deck, I'll actually go in depth on too, because like I said, I have another version of this deck that doesn't play the whole rollback degeneracy that I was trying to do. It's literally the majority of this minus the Foolish Burial Goods and the rollbacks, and it was adding other stuff in there. And you still got to like 95 or right at 100 points. The Super Poly target, you can mix and match whatever 0-point Super Poly target you want. If you don't want to play the Guardian Chimera, you don't have to. You don't even, realistically, don't even have to play the entirety of the mini branded engine in here. That's just in here to get the Tax Dragon. It's either you're burning off of the Reincarnation, the combination of Lycoris, Reincarnation, Light Stage, and Dark Room and Nightmare, or you're paying the taxes. That's really what it is. That was the whole point of it. I do apologize for the interruption. Me having to go back and just do a double check on points. I try to be as accurate as I can. I actually forgot the third rollback did put me over by 2. There's a slight miscalculation on my end. I do apologize about that. Try not to let it happen again, but I'm human. It might happen again. Anyways, notice I'm not playing any of the Trickstar fusions simply because they just do effects based on having the link monsters. Well, we ain't playing the links, so what's the point of playing those? You can also play Proskinian in here. Despian Proskinian. So that is another option to sub out one of either the Mud Dragons or the Garuas and put one of those in there. The Dragos Stapelia is an option if you don't want to play the rollback engine and things like that. Again, things can be changed. This is just how I choose to want to do this degenerate bullshit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add it in here. Give me one moment. I'm going to do a little bit of magical editing, and I'm going to bring up the other version of this deck. Alright, and I'm back. Real quick, so the major differences in this version are playing the second Lily Bell, playing the second Corbane. Adding the Drolls, adding the second Honest, and adding 2 Ghost Bells, and not playing the rollbacks or the Foolish Burial Goods. So this one's a lot more. We're doing the exact same thing. Again, you can also take out Despia Theater to Branded, put Despia Theater to Branded in the place of Live Stage. Not necessarily needed. It's just in here just to be able to continue doing other stuff with the deck. Again, it's just a template, folks. I've said it multiple times. This is the way I'm choosing to place these decks. When I do profiles like this, this is my rendition of them. I've gotten complaints on other ones and honest questions and suggestions. Some questions were valid. Some were just wanting to argue with me for the sake of arguing. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would actually change. And, I'd visit it. Like I said, extra deck is really subject to change. You're not really going into the extra deck the natural way, except for, really, the first 11 cards are summonable off of, hell, even Despia Theater Branded, ironically enough. So you could, like I said, Despia Theater Branded is a card that actually could be played in here. And if you're looking at those 5, I did do a bunch of, just draw first 5 going first. That hand in the, that opening hand right there, oddly enough, is full combo. It is full combo on just the Trickstar side. You actually get to roll back into the grave, which is what you want. You have the reincarnation. You have the disturbance strategy. And for those who don't know what disturbance strategy does, it forces your opponent to shuffle their hand back in their deck and then draw that many cards. So you're sitting on 6. So at the start is literally draw face. You go disturbance strategy. You go reincarnation chain disturbance strategy. So they're already going to burn, depending on how many Lycoris you have on the field, and if you actually did end up getting Dark Room and Nightmare. Without the Dark Room and Nightmare, you're just taking roughly, taking 800 per card drawn if you have 2 Lycoris on field plus Light Stage. And then think about it in this regard. For each card you draw, your opponent draws, they just keep burning. The old school mentality of playing Trickstar. That is what this is. But it's old school plus playing a small branded engine without playing Albass, because then you don't need to go into all of the Albass fusions. You just want to play Jax Dragon, who actually runs off the Despia side. Difference is it's 45 versus 40 versus 43. This side, if you want to take anything out, switch things around. Again, the live stage is usually the first thing that goes. Points wise on this side, with the hand traps, it's 95. So with the other build, it's 97. No, it was 95 also. But that's taking out the third rollback and only playing 2. Because where you get the points back by taking out the hand traps, you actually added an extra 2 points per copy of rollback. So, and then the other option is to take out one of the Honest. The Honest is in here just to be cheeky, just to do extra damage if they try to swing into, say you have an attack position like Lilybell. Because, sometimes that happen. It may happen. Scenario. Anyways, you just drop the Honest. Oh, you drop a second one. Cool. You probably just won the game off of that. So, anyways, this has been your Butcher Card for Twisted Nightmare Gaming and Ellen in the Little Nightmare Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for all future notifications. Catch you guys on the next one.